everyone, we are Books Are My Fandom, codename BAMF, and we are international book-obsessed beasties. I have to do this every time. We love young adult fantasy, sci-fi, contemporaries, and so on. Today's video is all about a book called The Replacement Crush by Lisa Brown Roberts, and I've got hair in my face. I rated the book 3 stars. Okay, but I'm in South Africa.
I'm Jamie from Canada, and I did not finish the book. I stopped reading at 85%. Dun, dun, dun. So this video is the 8th in our series of BAMF reviews that we buddy read once a month and then discuss. Today we are talking about The Replacement Crush, and the summary reads, "True love can't be strategized." After book blogger Vivian Galdy's longtime crush pretends their secret summer kissing sessions never happened, Vivian creates a list of safe crushes determined to protect her heart. But nerd-hot Dallas, the sweet new guy in town, sends the mission and Vivian's zing meter into chaos. While designing software for the bookstore where Vivian works, Dallas wages a counter-mission. Operation Replacement Crush is in full effect, and Dallas is determined to take her heart off the shelf.
Okay, so in today's video, we're going to talk about what we liked, what we disliked, and we're going to try our best not to spoil it for you, but there is going to be a spoily bit, but we will tell you, and there's a reason that we're spoiling it, but we will tell you in advance. But first off, can I just say, feminists are allowed to read romance novels, and don't even try to say that they aren't. Okay, so now that we've got above that, I guess I should talk about what I like, right? Okay, so 3 stars, and I can tell you that 2 of those stars were earned by Dallas. Oh. Okay, so, sorry, it's just, yes.
Jamie was very smooth over Dallas, and to be honest, until when I stopped reading, everything that Dani's gonna say are things that I also enjoyed. It's just, I just can't.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Dallas.
Okay. Yes, so there's a quote here that I have that is really funny, but is also very accurate in describing Dallas and what he does to people. "My hormones pounded on every nerve in my body, dying to escape and capture Dallas as their personal love slave." Okay, so he's a nerd.
Thing we should mention.
He's a nerd.
Wait, we need to mention a thing.
Okay.
We both received the arcs of this book in exchange for an honest review, which we should have said much before now, but it's in here.
Yes. But anyway, Dallas, nerd, plays the cello, and there's another thing that will be revealed that just makes it so much better. Well, makes him better, not the story necessarily. Okay, so then some other things that I liked. So the other star was earned because Vivian is a book blogger. She reviews, so she works in a bookstore and she reviews romance novels, and she has a book club, and I just love that part of it, like seeing what we do reflected in a book was really cool. And it also gave me ideas that I shouldn't be doing. But I am, because I'm crazy.
Can I just mention, I did not like her rating system, though. Her rating
was weird.
Pissed me off, to be honest, because Crocs was like a good thing, and I'm like, I hate Crocs. Everybody hates Crocs.
Oh, except the Crocs that don't look like Crocs. I have a really comfortable black like shoes that are just black, like pump type things that have the Croc sole, but they don't look like Crocs. So they feel really comfy, but they don't look like shit.
Yeah, no, but like regular Crocs are just disgusting. So I was like, why is this? I thought it was going to be like a negative review. And then because she's like Crocs. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, or like dinosaurs or something.
And then it was like go-go boots are the best. And I'm like, no, sorry, sweetie. You're wrong.
And also there wasn't a bad rating. It wasn't like a rating per se, but more like a category, because she was saying like the lowest was like granny something, granny. I don't remember. I can only think of granny panties, which is not what it was. It was just like it's safe for grandmothers, which doesn't mean that. It was more like a flame rating than a star rating.
Yeah. And
So,
like even stuff that she didn't like, she still talked about positively, and I was like, nah, I'm here for some negative reviews. So
I mean, I can understand not being completely mean about something, but I don't. Yeah, okay. And I kind of felt like that was sort of injecting what the author wanted bloggers to be like, rather than what we're actually like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still. I mean, fair enough. I still liked that. It was nice to see us, like what we do in a book, right?
Yeah, no, I agree, because like I don't think it was us because we run too much things. But
Yeah.
it was like the version of us that started vlogging in the beginning.
Yeah. Except she had a lot of arcs. Well, I didn't in the beginning. Now I have too many.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah,
okay.
the problem.
Next.
Okay. Okay. Also, that. Okay. So in the new adult post about sex, and I said the whole like things that you don't want to call, that you don't want to read in a book. Where was this quote?
Oh, like the things you don't want to call a penis in a book.
Okay. Where there was a guy, and he was making fun about the whole romance novels thing, and he said, "Take me, baby, take me now. Let me show you my love snake." Sorry, I had to say that. Okay, and last thing for me, the Star Trek quotes. So most of the chapters started out with a Star Trek quote, and I thought they were really cool because it was showing the difference between Spock and Kirk. I almost forgot his name. For some reason, I wanted to call him Jamie.
Yeah. Captain.
Okay, but yeah, so it would be like fascinating is a word I use for the unexpected. In this case, I would think interesting would suffice. And that's Spock. I was like, I have no idea if I'm a Spock or a Kirk, but these quotes are so much fun. But okay, so that's mine done. Jamie, do you have anything to like?
Yeah, no, like I agree with you about everything that you liked. I just can't let this book have redeeming qualities because of the thing that I'm gonna talk about later. So like honestly, until the thing, this was a 3-star read for me, and then the thing, and I'm like, no, 0. Bye.
Okay. So since you've got quite a bit to say, so I'll start off first, and then we'll introduce your little spoiler section.
Yeah.
So there were a few things that brought the book down for me. So first of all, whilst I loved Dallas, Viv annoyed me. So first of all, in the beginning, I found the first 10-15% really difficult to read because she was so dippy. Like, she just seemed really stupid. And this happened with the other book that I read by Lisa Brown Roberts, where I also, with that book, I found the girl, the heroine, really stupid in the beginning, and I could not handle it. And I was like almost so close to dropping the book, and then I sort of pushed through. So I don't know why it had to happen again, but it did. And then a couple other things. Dallas is a computer programmer, and it did explain why Viv's mom wanted to hire him to do the computer systems in their shop. But I have worked for a company that makes till software, and I know that it doesn't happen in some kid's spare time over a couple of weeks. So I felt like that whole technical side was sort of very much simplified, shall we say. Yeah, and it's not realistic for someone that knows that specific thing really well.
I just took it as a way to get them together, to spend time together.
Yeah, it annoyed me. I'm a techie. I'm not a Trekkie. I'm a techie. But yeah, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay. And last thing. Oh my God, Jamie. It drove me insane.
Okay.
All of the hip slang and text speak. So like where she was like, what's his damage? I was like, what's his damage? And then the whole see you at 8 where it was see you at 8. Yeah. 4 characters. I was like, teenagers don't do that anymore. That is what happened in the 90s and I guess early 2000s when you had limited characters and you had to like type it out on a number keypad thing. But now we have like the ability to write full sentences and not pay extra for it. So
and full keyboards, so we want to write full sentences. But yeah, I agree. I also didn't like the text speak. But I say what's his damage a lot, so I was like,
oh my God.
I have like the weird surfer girl speak in my vocabulary, even though I live nowhere near like beaches. Well, no, that's not true. I live near a beach, but not like a surfing beach. I live near like a marina where they have boats.
There are surfing beaches down the road.
You should go.
I did.
Damn, and you'll fit right in.
I don't know. They might not speak English.
Oh, even better.
But there. Okay, this is terrible. I should stop talking now. I'm like being ridiculous. Okay. Anyway, so now Jamie's bit and spoilers.
Spoiler, so if you want to stop here and not be spoiled for the book, our next BAMF chat is about The Rat Prince by Bridget Hodder. Oops. It's in September, so we'll see you next month. Give you some. That's it? Okay. So, spoiler and trigger warning for sexual assault and some domestic abuse because, wow, there is a lot to cover. So, one of the things that I found, like, before I even get into, like, why I stopped reading, this book is too long. Like, it's 400 pages, okay? It needed to be, like, 200, not 2 pages. You know? And I had the same issues with Dani, where the first 15% I was like...
Oh, with me. As me, maybe, but not with me. Please do not have issues with me.
Oops. Okay. I'm just like, I'm trying not to get angry, but I'm also really ramped up about why. I'm like, okay, so I stopped reading at 85%. At about 82%, there's a scene where Jake, who's the guy that pretends that they didn't have secret kissing sessions, even though he told people, I don't know, anyway, tries to rape Vivian, only to have Dallas and Toph, is that his name? I don't know. Come in and save her from this scene. Okay, so I was like, okay, this is horrible, but let me see a little bit more to see what like happens after, to see if it's something that I can say, okay, this was needed in the story. Like, no, it's not needed in the story. Okay, so one thing that I'm going to say right now is that I'm not a fan of rape for shock value, and that's what this was. And let's just say that I don't understand the point of violence just to have the main character be saved by her love interest. And while I know that that's like a thing in old gothic romance novels, it was not needed in this novel. So I'm going to spoil everything that leads up to what this happens to show you why it's not necessary. Because the attacker, Jake, who's, you know, talked about him before, he's already shown to be a really, really bad dude. Like, first, he starts by dumping our main character after they were sneaking out to make out on the beach. And he tried to pressure her into having sex, and she said no repeatedly, and that's why he said he dumped her. Okay, so, like, red flag. Red, yeah. So he then starts telling people that they did have sex, and so he's lying. And he uses this to try and get Claire, the new girl he's dating, into having sex with him. He says, if the weirdo Vivian will have sex with me, why don't you put out? Like, bad dude, okay? Then, as you know, he writes slut on both of these girls' locker when they deny him and confront him and tell him, you can't do this. He then also threatens our main character when she calls him out. He calls her fat. Like, honestly, there was so much saying this dude is a bad dude that you didn't need an attempted rape scene. Because we already knew he was a bad guy. So what was the point of him having to do this? What did it add to the story? Nothing. We already knew he was a shitty person. We knew he had no respect for any girl that he was with. We knew that the main character wasn't going to forgive him, and we as a reader weren't going to forgive him for everything that he did to her, because there was like a list. I literally listed everything he did. So what's the point? To shock us? To let the main character be saved by her love interest? None of these reasons are good enough for an attempted rape scene in any novel, but especially this novel. So I couldn't continue reading from here. I decided that it wasn't enough of a good reason for them to even like be together at the end, and I just didn't care. So I stopped reading. I've rated it 1 star on Goodreads so that people can find my review when you search, but I give this book 0. And that's my
Okay. So I agree with what you said. I didn't think it was necessary. Considering this is a spoiler section, so I'm going to tell you and everyone who is not going to read the book because they now know what's happening. The whole point of it, to me, seemed like, I mean, it didn't even really get the two characters together. It didn't get Dallas and Viv together that moment. All it seemed to do was give a chance for Dallas to reveal his superpower of, like, kicking Jake's ass. And then Viv tells him that he makes her feel safe. And yeah, and then there's this whole bit where he tells her, oh, you shouldn't feel stupid, you shouldn't blame yourself, you shouldn't feel guilty, you should tell your mom so that she knows, because you've got nothing to be ashamed of. Which, yes, okay, I understand. Those are all very good messages that you want people that do go through this in real life. We do want to tell them. And that's why I think what the author was trying to do was find some awkward way to fit in this whole positive message about how it's not the victim's fault. Like, that's what she was trying to do. It was like Dallas was telling Viv, it's not your fault. And yes, in real life, it's not the victim's fault. And in the book, technically, okay, so it's not her fault. But I don't feel like it fit into the story. It didn't really seem to, I don't know, it just...
I feel like that could have happened after he wrote slut on her locker.
Yeah.
Or like after he said things to other people about them having sex, even though they didn't. Like, it didn't have to be like violence or an attempted rape where she gets saved by him for that to happen, though. That's all I mean. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah. And I much prefer, like, okay, so yes, like you mentioned, earlier in the book, they talk about a book in their book club that's supposed to be old school, an old Gothic romance where you have the damsel in distress and the hero that's this brooding guy swoops in and saves the day. And I guess, there's even a quote from one of the characters who says that she wishes that she could have a hero come in and save her. And so I guess that's what the aim was, to have that echoed in real life for Viv, to have this not so brooding. He wasn't actually a brooding guy. He was actually really funny, and I loved him. But he swoops in and saves the day, and I kind of want him to teach me his skills because I personally want to do the butt kicking myself. But he can just, train me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see what she was doing. I don't agree with it, but I can see what she was trying to do.
Yeah, and I feel like it didn't even really fit because when Toph is like, "Oh, I'll beat up Jake for you," and Viv's like, "No, I can handle it myself." Like, then why even include something like this? Why not have Dallas go beat up Jake somewhere in the middle there after Toph tells him what happens? I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, it was silly. And also the whole thing where Jake's not there and then Jake is apparently just hanging around the party in the shadows.
Yeah, he was like hiding in the bushes to jump out at her. And I'm
like it doesn't make any sense.
Like, it was just like a ridiculous setup and everything. Like, everything was just ridiculous about it.
Yeah. So that's why I say, yes, I've given the book 3 stars because most of it, so at least 50% of it is fine. And I mean, the end, so after this bit, was kind of cute. It was kind of sweet. And, Dallas, I think, deserves some stars. And seeing book blogging in a book was also cool. But it was slow at times. The main character was stupid. And there was that whole issue. And I've actually, in Goodreads, I've actually shelved it. I've created a new shelf now for trigger warning. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough book. And we don't really like having to talk negatively about books, but it has to be done, especially as we already changed the book this month and we couldn't do it again.
No, but because we didn't realize the book that we had chosen was a sequel. That's why. We didn't have time to read 2 books for it. Otherwise, we would have stuck with the one that we had, which I still have my Kindles. I mean, my Kobo. So I'm like, okay, I'll get to this eventually.
Okay, so I think
that is a wrap now, I think.
Yeah. This is like such a bummer.
So thank you for tuning in. Sorry we spoiled it, but also not, because I'm like, we needed to talk about it. And I'm actually a little disappointed that more reviews on Goodreads haven't talked about it. But so thank you for tuning in to our video chat book review for The Replacement Crush by Lisa Brown Roberts.
And for our next chat, so next month, we are going to be reading The Rat Prince by Bridget Hodder. And also, between now and then, we're also going to be doing something called BAMFs Aloud, where you can watch us even more. You can see us every week talking about books. So books that are coming up. Huh? Did you say something?
You said live, and I started dancing.
Oh, yes. You can watch us live. We're going to talk about books that are coming out, books that have recently come out, books that we've loved, that we've read recently. And also, every other week, we're going to be, what's the word? Interviewing an author.
Our first author interview is on September 10th. It's with Alexis Bass or Bass. I'm not sure which way. I'll ask her in the email. how to pronounce her last name.
Well, maybe in the video we'll have her say her name.
That's probably a better idea, to be honest.
Okay. But yeah, okay. So we will see you guys
next month, but also tomorrow, because this is being posted on a Saturday, tomorrow we have our BAMF chat about new adult books on Twitter under hashtag BAF chat, BAMF chat. So you can chat with us about all things new adult tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK time, which
9 p.m. South Africa time.
Yeah. Are you still there? Okay. Anyway, so see you next.
Yeah.
See you like forever. Like I say, see you next month, but also see you tomorrow and every week thereafter.
Yeah, live. So you can see all of our bloopers
as they happen.
Yeah, this is bad. Okay. See you guys.